Let's talk about the 150th anniversary test between England and Australia. The Barmy Army want to turn it into an Ashes test. Well, to tell us more, here's Chris Millard, Managing Director of the Barmy Army. Harmy had a huge smile on his face when he heard about this, Chris. Oh, go on then, Harmy. Ask him what he's on about.
Yeah, I mean, an Ashes test. I mean, for somebody who's played in four Ashes series, I mean, I don't know. I think pink ball needs to be thrown out because I think they're getting that right. And I think the Ashes part of it is the endurance, the to and fro, the back and forward of two teams going hard for 7.5 weeks. So when I seen that, I was like, what are they on about? An Ashes test? But tell us more because I was a little bit taken back and thinking, right, I was actually gonna ring you and think, we got it right here. I mean, Ashes is where you make all your money over 7.5 weeks. But do you really want it to be an Ashes test, especially if it's a pink ball game where the game's going to be won about 15 minutes before the game starts?
Yeah. You make a very valid point, Harmy, but I think we sit here at Barmy Army Towers and we think about how to make the game more engaging and how to bring more people to an event like the 150th. And whilst it provides great narrative being the 150th anniversary of England versus Australia, you're right, it is a pink ball test in March in Melbourne. And we obviously want to take as many people as we can to support the lads and get the win over the line. And we thought, what better way than to start a campaign saying, right, the Aussies are the holders of the Ashes, unfortunately. And we think there's one test match. It's a few weeks before we'll play the Ashes again back in the UK. Why not stick it all on the line for one test, have a big slog over 3 days where you never know, we might come out on top, win the Ashes in Australia. All right, it was one test, but we don't need to get into the nitty gritty. Win the Ashes, come back to England. It's a bigger occasion when it's back in the UK. It just means more to everyone then.
Yeah, I mean, does it not make more sense for Australia to have a day game with the amount of people that the Barmy Army are gonna bring over? Because I mean, we're not going to be. I know Barmy Army start drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning, but if the game finishes at 7 o'clock, surely the tourism of Melbourne will want to maximise the night time and not have people streaming out of the ground at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I think the thinking behind it is that they want it to be better for the UK audience as well in terms of the day night viewership over there in the UK. But you are right, for the travelling fan, I'd say 85% of people that travel prefer day cricket. You enjoy going out. You know what it's like on tour. That the nightlife is part of what makes a tour so special. You see the hustle and bustle of the cities and so many fans back and forth. But we know it might only last 2 or 3 days with it being a day-night test as well. So there's still plenty of time to take in the sights of Melbourne. There might even be a Grand Prix the week after as well.
Be good.
Yeah. Oh, Chris, we might come back to that, but in case we run out of time, if you're like me and Harmy, we get asked what we think about Brendon McCullum and his future and whether he should carry on, and sometimes, often actually, the people who have their finger closest to the pulse are people like you, because you deal a lot more with people who pay real money to follow the England team. So I'm desperate to know what you, as managing director of the Barmy Army, spokesman for the people, think about Brendon McCullum's future and whether, I know everybody was very disappointed, that's putting it mildly, in Australia, but your thoughts?
It's a really tricky one because we were so excited about this Ashes series because of him and because of Ben Stokes. So it's very easy to forget how excited we were pre-Ashes because of how good in theory the England Test team were and how they always took it to the opposition. And I think we saw a little bit of admittance from Brendon McCullum saying that they didn't think they played the style of cricket that they had been playing in Australia. And I think that was the most frustrating thing for everyone, the England fans, to go down the way they did without the character that we've seen on all of the previous series when it's been Brendon and Ben. So I think from an English fan's perspective, it was incredibly disappointing. We worked towards Ashes, 4-year cycles, away Ashes, that's the big one. Harmy knows more than anyone. And to go down the way we did was shocking. But you know what? I think there would be a lot of England fans disappointed to see him go in the short term, especially with, I guess, the foundations of how powerfully like the boys really look up to him and think about him. You heard Harry Brooks' comments, you know what Ben Stokes thinks to him as well, and that feeling is definitely shared in the dressing room. And the England fans, we support the players first and foremost, and whilst they're all on board and singing to the tune of Brendon, then we will be right behind them.
Yeah, I get that. I must admit, I've said he should go because of what happened with Australia, but I'm saying it with gritted teeth because of how positive he's been for English cricket over the course of a 4-year period, and not just a sort of 8-week debacle. Have you had much, Chris? Have you had much interest in this ping ball test match? I would imagine, 100,000 people in Melbourne, there'll be a lot of English fans going over nicely, especially if there is a Grand Prix tagged onto the back of it.
Yeah, exactly. That extra carrot of the Grand Prix will make it very special indeed. But there is a lot of interest. Obviously, it comes at a time where England overseas cricket is really good for the travelling fan. So we've just been to South Africa, hopefully beat the World Test champions in their own backyard, and then spinning out into a 150th anniversary Ashes on the line Test match. It would be, it'd be a pretty special few months for the England fan that likes to travel. But ultimately, it is a tricky time, that in-between period. So we're hoping there'll be a lot of people there, but we're still yet to see it coming through. Flights aren't in range yet, so that'll be happening in the next few weeks.
Many thanks indeed for your time, Chris. So I don't think that the 150th anniversary test will be an Ashes test, but nice try.
We'll keep trying, don't you worry. We'll keep banging the drum.
Keep banging that drum, my friend. Keep banging it. More interest on it, more people on it. Actually, I just want to ask you, how did the Ashes go from, a Barmy Army point of view and the wider range of the other touring groups as well? Because there's a lot of touring groups now go and follow this England cricket team. Was it as good as you thought it was going to be?
Yeah, it's the biggest. I think it's the biggest overseas England cricket tour of all time. In terms of data, what we've got, it certainly suggests that there's over 500 million Australian dollars put in circulation during the 7 weeks, which is incredible. The only people to shift interest in Australia before is Taylor Swift and the Barmy Army. So it's been reported in the press that inflation has increased because of the Ashes tour. So you know what, in terms of how it went for everyone who travelled over there, they had an amazing time. We won a test match. Let's not forget that. We won a test match in Australia, which is never easy. So we take the wins, and the 3,500 people we had travelling with us had a very special time.